Alright, here we are. So, we're back in Foundry. Last time I set up the blast furnace. It's a gigantic thingamabob, which makes a whole bunch of plates. Now, since then, it has almost entirely filled up. So there are still technically a couple of these ones near the back still running. But basically that gigantic storage array I set up last time has filled up. And I've also confirmed that you simply cannot use the data cable system on the blast furnace, which means that it's just going to sort of be like this, which is fine. So, first thing to do is let's mess with some space station stuff. So first of all, R&D lab, and science assistant drone, can sell for more. And what else do we need? Alright, we have a billion monies, so I may as well go into debts and pay off. Gosh, if only I could tell how many zeros that was. I think that's 1 million. Yes, that was 1 million. Cool. Alright, we are making serious progress on that. Then the other thing I want to do is go to market office and buy some of these things. Specifically, ignium powder is one that I'm going to need for the next task, which is energy cells, because currently we are buying energy cells off the galactic market, and they are very expensive and not very fun to buy. So, the bad news is they're also not exactly trivial to handcraft. So we need electronic components, glass, alumic acid, and xenoferrite plates. Now, alumic acid is ignium powder, alumite gas, and water. Alumite gas is crude alumite. So, I need to bring in all these resources, and unfortunately the fluids, there's not much I can do. I can bring in crude alumite off of the space station, but I'm pretty sure that's the only one, right? I go here. I can get empty barrels, I can get a barrel full of alumite, and that's it as far as fluids go. So the alumic acid is just going to sort of be like that, but at least the ignium powder purchase can help. So we drop down here, and right, we need to go over here because we need space above us for the shipping pads. So let's expand that out. And it needs to go back to here apparently. So let's expand this out and then put our new shipping pads in this area. Do I have shipping pads in the inventory? No, but I can craft some. Don't know how many I'm going to need. Let's just make 4 for now at least to get started. So we've crafted 1. And it goes there. Alright, so first things first, this one is going to need to be the ignium powder, or this one can be the alumite actually. Alumite barrel. Wait, no. Back. This one should be the ignium powder. Simply because I think the alumite barrel is going to need to be a medium. Because alumite is big. Alright, so then we have ignium powder check. We need crude alumite, which means we need steel beams and concrete. Let's head over here to grab some of those. Steel beams are quite close. Concrete is on the other side of the map. Steel beams are right here. So we have that. Can afford to grab some electronic components while we're here, just to save on crafting time. And then grab some concrete from over here. Concrete. This feels like yet another thing that I probably should have automated by now, but it's fine. I'm just not gonna automate it. Alright, medium shipping pad. Check. So we have that. Now we fly over here and put down the medium shipping pad for the Alumite. And hopefully it'll fit in this space. Hopefully it will fit in this space. It will, looks like. Pop it in there. It lines up nicely. It sticks off the back a little bit, but who cares? And then we're going to need to get rid of some of these cacti. And replace that with building blocks. Which we're going to need more of, because we always need more building blocks. Alright. So this is ignium powder. This is Alumite barrels. Then we need... I shouldn't stand direct on this, somebody gets squished. So that's enough for the alumic acid. Then we need glass, electronic components, and xenoferrite plates. We need 3 more of these. They're also going to need an output. So that's 1, 2, and we need more space for the 3rd. Let's run over and grab some building blocks then. Let's see, building blocks. They're somewhere over there that's closer, but this is easier to find, so I'm going to go to this one. Grab those. Everything else looks fine. And we head back. Alright, so we head back over here. And we need like 2 more. Well, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? I guess we go up 1. The ground has sloped a little bit, which has caused a minor problem. We could technically, like, orbit a laser to fix that, but we're just going to go up 1 and just put these in up here. 1. And there's more vegetation. Get out of here, cacti. Get the cacti gone, and 1 more. Alright, so I think that is correct. So we have ignium powder, check. Barreled alumite, check. This one is then what? Glass. And what did we need? Glass, electronic components, and xenoferrite plates. So this one is electronic components. And this one is xenoferrite plates. And then this one is the output of energy cells. Alright, so we have all that. We have all that in. Now let's just fill that across a little bit. Now we need to actually make this stuff. So first step, first we need a barrel filler. At least one, probably more than one. But we'll see. So that is going to go there. We're going to have our belt of alumite barrels running across. This is going to be empty barrel of alumite. And it's going to take that input. And we're also going to need a couple of incinerators. Okay, and this output belt should be running the other way in case we need more. So that belt goes that way. And in. That is the output. So let's see here. This outputs 30 barrels a minute. This probably destroys like 20 barrels a minute. So actually, I do think this has to go the other way. We need to fit in more than one incinerator per machine. That goes that way, which means that that incinerator serves no purpose. We're gonna have to move it over there. And send those in. Alright, now we just need to figure out what exactly we're doing. Also, I want to rotate this, I think. So that the outputs are like that. That way they can just be collected more easily. So you do that again, but better this time. Alright. So we have the alumite. Check. Next step is we need to make alumite gas in a distillation column. So let's get a distillation column. That's these ones. And I don't know how many we're going to need, but probably a couple. It would be better to work backwards. Yeah, let's work backwards. So we want to have like 20 of these, making, because that's like sort of our default number. Oh, wait, it's not assemblers, it's fluid assemblers. So we want 20 of these making energy cells, which means we need 2400 alumic acid. So if we get in a chemical processor, that's you. I already had like 6 of them. Whoops. So we get in a chemical processor to make alumic acid. This makes 300. So we need 8 of these. Having 8 of these means we need 4. Let's see, 600 times 8 would be 4,800. This is going to be less than that. So we're going to need like 4,000. Let's go with like 4,200 alumite gas, which we have our distillation column, which we're going to need 2, 3, just 4 of these, which means 6,000 crude alumite. And this Alright, so this does 7,500 crude alumite, so this is actually enough. Love to see it. So we just need 4 of these, 8 of these, and then 20 of those. So that shouldn't be that bad. So now we just need to make this all line up nicely. So that needs to run by the distillation columns now. And we have 4 of them. That's convenient. So if we put those in like there, let's say, then the input is there and waste output is there and gas output is there. Alright, so it's actually going to be optimal to rotate this so that the panel is on the left. So if we have it rotated like that, then both the front and the back get full chains, and we only have to do the annoying thing for the side. So we get that in. 2. How is that blocked? What? Oh, there's a thing there. That's annoying. I don't really need all this gigantic amount of storage. I thought I was going to, but I'm actually not. So let's actually destroy all that. Delete you. Delete you. Destroy all that. And what we need, we need to get rid of one more. So that one goes away. And we delete all that stuff and then destroy it. And now if we just do good old-fashioned bulk demolish, get rid of all that, even get some building blocks back, and we can go back to doing this. 3 and 4. Alright. So these are all set properly. Yes, they are. Good to see. Now, we need to run the pipes. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and pipe that across. Then this one gets 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pipe it across. And then these ones get to be the fun ones, so they go up first. And this is actually the output that we want, so we need to bring this over to the side. Alright, so then these all go over this way. And then they branch out. And then we just intersection them together. 2, 3, 4. And we drag the pipe. Alright, so now we just have to hook these up to things. So this front and bottom pipe is the input. So we take this, and it goes up and over just like that. that lined up correctly? It is. So that's lined up correctly, which means that those should start. Then this is the waste gas, which is 150 a minute each. So we put in a flare stack and hope this can deal with like 600. Alright. Yes, easily can deal with this. So then this comes along there. And then down. And up. And there. Alright, waste gas dealt with. And now we just have the alumite gas, which we need to send into the next step, which is the chemical processors, right? I think I needed like 8 of them or something. I currently have 7, so let's craft up another one. And we're probably going to need more pipes soon. We're just going to go and grab those. We're at 39, and that is not really enough to do much of anything. So we fly on over to the old pipe factory and grab some of these. It'll be way over here. And is it these ones? No, is it after these ones? No, it's before them. For the rubber. Yeah, here we go. Let's grab a whole bunch of those. May as well refill on building blocks while we're over here. So let's hop over here and grab a whole bunch of those. And then we also need a lot of fluid assemblers, which I may as well start crafting. And what do I need to actually make those? First, I need to clear some random junk out of my inventory. Don't need all of that. I don't need every single type of logistics container. Just gonna keep the biggest ones for now. Alright, so in order to make more of these, I need plates, machinery parts, and polymer boards. So let's get over here. Polymer boards. Grab a couple stacks of those. And also need circuit boards, but we have those over there, so that's fine. Grab some advanced machinery parts. And some xenoferrite plates. I just realized I never set up a buy order for the ignium. So let's go ignium powder, target amount. Let's go 2,000. And just send that in. While we have this open, may as well upgrade the cleaning bots and the farmer robots. Alright, now what were we doing? Grabbing xenoferrite plates, right. So we go here, grab a couple stacks of those. And we have 12 of these, so we need another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To get up to 20, which is the number that we want, at least for now. Alright, so now we're here. And what we need is to stop being so close to the ground. So let's just go up a good couple levels and then fill out that way. So now we need to put in our chemical processors, which are going to go this way. 1, we need to fill the recipes in before we paste all of them. Alumic acid. Alumic acid. This is going to need to be expanded out a little bit for the ignium powder to get up there. And this is going to be quite a long thing. Just completely failing to drag nice, neat foundations this time. So let's get rid of all that. All sorts of biomass and stone is going to be clogging up my inventory for the time being. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's all of those. And all the recipes are set. Cool. So now we just have to get water. So let's see, somewhere in here we have pipe intake. And we pop you in there. Then this comes up somewhere there-ish. This also has to get over to this general vicinity. So let's drag it over. It needs to go a couple levels this way. That should be good enough. And then it needs to come up to somewhere here-ish. Alright, now we just need to actually draw the lines. So one of these has to go below, the other has to go over. Let's just have it like this. And cool, then we have the other one go up like this. Then we just have to put the T-intersections on and drag the pipes across and hook them up. Alright, so that wants the water to be going up. So this has to be down here. Alright, let's get the T-intersections on, because I somehow literally said that we needed to do that and then got distracted and started doing something else. So these all go in here. Then we get these ones going in up here, and then we drag the pipes across. Alright. Then these go across, and a little bit more across, and done. Then this one goes across, and a little bit more across, and done. Okay, meanwhile, this water pipe needs to come over this way. And right about there. And there. And in. Alright, so water is in. Alumite gas is in. Now the only thing we need is the ignium powder, if it exists. Which doesn't seem to. How long is that going to be? Let's see here. Ignium powder, ignium powder, ignium powder. It says... It must have just arrived, right? Yeah. It was literally on its way down as I was checking. That's funny. Alright, so then we just have to take this belt, bring it up to this height. That's good. Now we drag it around this way and all the way across that. Then all of these get their ignium input and should be free to start producing now, although they won't be able to produce much, obviously. Alright, that is 120 ignium powder a minute each, which is a lot of ignium powder, enough that this belt might not be fast enough. We'll have to see if we're gonna have to. Well, the belt will be fast enough. The galactic market is the thing that I'm concerned about not being fast enough, to be clear. All right, so we have those, and they make alumic acid, which we need to wrap around the back and get all of these attached in. So these all go. And then they all connect up. Alright, so we have that. So we have the alumic acid. And then these should just be filled, right? We have glass there, electronic components there. So we should just be good to go. And make our line of fluid assemblers. We're just going to fill this in facing that way so that the pipes is on the right side. We make that energy cells, and it has 3 solid inputs, so one of them is going to have to go over there, the other 2 can go over here. Although I guess there's no reason not to go 3 inputs there and an output there. That way works just as well. So now we get our input belts there, our output belt there. And what are the 3 inputs? Uniferrite plates, electronic components, and glass. Okay, pretty sure I got those. Alright, then this has to go up to this level. And then rotate around this way and in there. Then this one has to go up. And over this way. And in there. Then this one has to go up. Was that too high? Yeah, it has to go up to this level. Then over this way. And in there. And I hooked it up to the wrong one. That's fine. We can do that. Now that's hooked up properly. And then finally this one has to go over this way. And then, please click properly, down to this level and in there. Alright, so that should be that. Now we just have to make this a thing. So you get to be a 4-way intersection, which will be obvious why in a minute. For now, we just send this across there. Then it curves up there. And in there. Alright, so this should be working now. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. Should have plenty of volumic acid. Although we might have... No, we definitely do have ignium powder shortages. So let's go to Galactic Market. No, not ignium ore rubble. Set ignium powder target amount to like 8,000. So that way we buy a whole lot of it at once, and hopefully it'll last long enough. The maximum possible that we could have is 9,000. Alright, so we have that. We have that. Now we just need to expand this out all the way. 3, 4, 5. I got exactly 20 right. There's no need to count. I can just place until I run out. Alright, so we expand that way. And probably going to need to go out this far, so let's fill that in. And these all get to go. And gosh, sure does take a lot of them. Alright, that was the last one. Cool. So now we just have to hook all of these up, which is going to be a bit of a process, of course. We have 4 belt lines and a pipe to drag. Alright, so there goes the belts. And there goes the last belt. Alright, now we put in all of these T intersections here and drag the volumic acid across. So we just keep placing these in, and then we can just run the pipe across, and back we go, and back we go. Alright, so the pipe is in. Now we just need to do the loaders. Which requires a bit of aiming. I guess I can stand on this pipe instead of wasting jetpack fuel for basically the exact same angle. Alright, so these just all have to get placed in. And then we have to do 2 more rows of the medium size and long size loaders, then the output row. And then we will be done setting this up. Although we are probably going to need to improve our ignium powder production to keep up with all this. Because currently we're just buying it from the Galactic Market, which probably won't keep up easily. Alright, so now we just need these. And now the long ones are going in. The production is starting for all of these, although obviously they won't output until I put the output in. But this way we can at least get a bit of a head start, because we don't need the output until it would be backed up anyways. Alright, so these just keep placing, and one more. Alright, now we just put the outputs. So all these go in. And hopefully our supply supply of energy cells should be greatly improved. And we won't have to buy the energy cells from the market anymore, which should save us a great deal of thermalite. And there we go. It's off. And the ignium powder is still a problem. Very much still a problem. Let's go into here, immediately get distracted by upgrading some robots. And Galactic Market has that giant wave of ignium powder. Yeah, it's still a minute off of that. And hopefully that will help. In the meantime, though, I have up to 2 million again, so I may as well do another one of those. Debt tax is going away. Basically non-existent at this point, which is huge. And then I guess we should also just buy like some random market licenses, just to be using it for something, you know. And all right, the 6,000 ignium powder is about to show up, and there we go. So that should hopefully help this keep up, although I'm not optimistic, to be honest. I think it's just going to be a bit of a problem. But we can always hope. We can always hope. And we are definitely producing energy cells now. So I guess the next step after this is going to be to produce ignium powder, and probably like glass and some of these other, probably glass and xenoferrite plates as well would be helpful to automate, just to take the strain off of those. How many energy cells is this making? 12 a minute, so 240 a minute. Not a huge amount, but definitely pretty decent. So that's nice. Alright, it looks like the supply of ignium powder is at least temporarily keeping all of these running. And it's definitely got a good stash in there. Although the next batch of sizable amounts is not coming anywhere soon. Okay, I think what I can do to improve this is have a buffer on this side. So if I just take that out real quick, and I put in a logistics container, then that takes input and output. Then we need to take all of those out and a bunch of those belts. And then reconnect it up. Now it will just keep trying to fill this container. And we can even do that to try to get it to fill the container even faster. So that should prompt it to make these purchases more frequently, which should help. Also might just end up with me having a giant box full of ignium powder sitting around for no reason, but that's fine. Not gonna hurt anything to have a giant box full of stuff. Alright, so we have that. Seems to be working out. So this has another 1,000 of stockpile. That has 2,000 in there. And this should be making more large purchases. There's another 2,000 ignium powder there. I wonder if we need more ships. Whenever you wonder if you need more ships, just buy more ships. It's never gonna hurt to have another couple tier 2 mediums. And another couple of smalls that do planetary shipping. And while I'm here, may as well get another medium to do planetary shipping. There we go. So that should just preempt whatever our next spaceship-related problem is going to be. You have a bit more of that going around. So this box is going to fill up. Alright, and now it is depleting, keeping that busy while this is waiting. So it seems like this may have helped at least a little bit. So, galactic market. Ignium powder is coming in a minute, and then more of it in another minute after that. Alright, should be fine. Yeah, I think this buffer is going to mostly, at least partially, solve the problem. I don't know if it'll 100% do it, but it should help a lot. Just make sure a nice steady stream there. And we have our energy cells going out. So either that will completely supplant the need for buying energy cells off the market, or it'll at least supplement it a little bit. Either one of those would be great. Obviously the first one would be better. And let's see, electronic components are being home produced. Glass and xenoferrite plates are not. So we should probably get those going. And also ignium powder potentially. Because this box is going to run out relatively soon, I would say. If it doesn't get a resupply, and there comes the resupply. Alright, that's good to see. It's at least mostly helping. Hard to say how much exactly is helping, but at least to some extent. And the energy cells should... Let's check. They're up to 4.2k, which means there probably is no more need to be buying them off of the market. And I don't see any purchases of energy cells lined up, which means that is done. Alright, so that is pretty neat. Don't have to buy these anymore, which should give us pretty significant savings. Alright, so then the next step is going to be probably glass. I don't know, what do we have that's like relatively expensive? So we're producing those. I guess advanced machinery parts, ignium powder, sort of. Yeah, let's just do glass real quick since it's pretty simple. So we just go over here and we need to grab the building blocks, bring them over, and go up a ways. Let's go even further up just so that we don't have to deal with nearly as many of the rocks and such, although we still might have to deal with some of the larger ones. Alright, so then we make a platform, and I think it's just going to be like 2. Actually, we can buy the gravel license to make this even better. So we get one of those, and we get one of those. And you can go from space station to factory. I guess we're going to skip gravel for this one. Give me mineral rocks. Then you are going from factory to space station and send out glass. So both of mineral rocks should already be set up, right? Yep, here it comes. Alright, so we just take that out, and it's just 2 lines, right? So we take the mineral rocks, turn it into gravel, and then smelt it into glass. So we're going to need some crushers and some smelters. So let's get as many of those as I can craft for the time being, and we're going to want more in the near future. So we get the crushers. We'll leave some space there in case we need to buffer this. And we put those in. We're going to need more building blocks, of course. And then this very basic setup now exists to make gravel. And gravel. And gravel. And then we get the advanced smelters in. And I don't know how much gravel they take, but hopefully it is more than these produce. So, these are 60 gravel out. These can accept up to 90 gravel. Alright, so then that is not ideal. We're going to need to take some of that out, and have to go back and grab the building blocks, and should probably grab some slopes while we're at it, and some belts. Starting to run a little low on those. So we head over here, grab more of those, and make our way over to the belts. Gosh, it sure would be nice if I had waited like an hour before setting up that centralized spot, and I would have had the Mark IV belts for it, and I wouldn't need to go to multiple separate locations. Alright, so let's grab we don't need that many of those. And let's grab some of those. Should be good, and while we're at it, we also need to grab crusher. So just plates and machinery parts for the crusher, and steel beams for the advanced smelters. So if I want 20 smelters, then I want 30 crushers, I think, is how that works out. So let's get over here. Is it advanced machinery parts? No, steel beams. Alright, so let's make a whole bunch of those. And then grab some xenoferrite plates and machinery components. Where are those? The machinery components. Just grab a stack of those so I don't have to craft them. Then grab a couple stacks of plates. And make up a whole bunch of crushers. That should be somewhere in the ballpark of enough. Now we head over here. And actually, I just had a genius idea. So this can be from factory to the space station gravel. And then we get another one in over here, which is the glass, and we can get both of those off of this same setup. So that is going to require this to be taken apart and run the other way. Alright, so there goes the gravel. And then we also need to split it with priority to the right side to smelt into glass. And the new shipping pad is done. So we pop that in. And factory to space station glass. Confirm. Alright, so now we have all of that. We just need to expand these out a bit. By a bit, I mean a lot. Alright, then that goes along there. And that goes along there. Please say remember to paste the recipes. I did, thank goodness. It would have actually taken ages otherwise. I think I'm going to do the input side first, so that, again, they can get started producing while I'm still building the rest of the stuff. Small time save, but technically helps a minuscule amount. Now we build the output side, and we're going to have a whole load of gravel coming out here. Possibly too much. This might be more than a belt. Who knows? It is more than a belt, actually. Let's see, that's 50. That's 60. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I want more of these, but we're going to do that later. For now, we need to set up the glass smelting row. So we get these in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I want to have 20 of these, because that's a nice, convenient number. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. And then we get rid of that tree so that we can do all this. Alright, so now we need an output belt. And we need an input belt. So the input is, of course, gravel. Goes along there. And we're going to need more loaders. We can at least get these inputs sorted up. And all of these go in. And just a bit more. Alright, so we have all of those. Now I guess we'll put in a couple of outputs before running out of loaders and running back to restock. But before we run back to restock, we may as well... I almost put those in the wrong side. Send those in there. Alright, now we head over here and we grab some loaders. Just the first lane loaders will be good enough for now. Let's see, we're crafting them around here. Grab a good solid 100 of them, so I don't run out anytime soon. And then we can run back and finish off this glass production line. Alright, so then this, swap back to output, and all of these go in. And there we go. These first couple are turned on and producing glass. So there we go. So that's that. And now we just need this to be 30 of these instead of however many it is right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, please place correctly. 25, 26, 27. And expand that out. 28, 29, 30. So now we just have to put these belts in and connect all the crushers up. That goes there. That goes there. And in we go. So all of these go in. You might need to buffer the mineral rock, potentially. Would be... It's going to be something that, like, mineral rock is going to be one of the ones that we permanently are using because it's a raw resource. So we're going to have to make sure we don't accidentally use too much of it or anything. Alright, but there is all of the glass in the world. So this is 20 to 60. So it's actually relatively efficient. And how is the mineral rock doing? Alright, raw materials. 1.6k out of 18k. Well, that seems not quite correct. Mineral rock, mineral rock, mineral rock. Target amount 5,000. Let's make that 8,000. And we are definitely producing a solid amount of glass. It looks like not all of these are running. And it does look like all of these are running, though, at least potentially. No, the first couple might not be. Yeah, the first couple are filling up. Also, the grid is strained. That is because of transformers. Yeah, so I can fix that pretty easily. Just give me 2 of these, and I can plop down 2 large transformers and call that up. Alright, so now we drop down here. And we get large transformer number 1. And large transformer number 2. that pole needs another pole. Connect up to those. And now the grid is fine again. It hopefully will be for a while. So that should be that. And I got the math wrong. So these make 60 each, and I have 30 of them. These use 90 each. It might be a belt limit thing. Yeah, okay, it's definitely a belt limit thing. So I can actually fix that by... Let's see here. How do I do this? So I need to take the first 15 of these to the first 10 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then I take this belt out, and it needs to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this needs to go in there. And that basically serves to cut this in half. So we have 2 of these, which should do all the glass that I need. Let's see. Yeah, the glass output is incredibly low, relatively speaking, so we're not going to have any problems there. As long as I didn't mess this up, which I easily might have done. Yeah, I mean, here, that's the problem, is that it's entirely possible that I've just miscounted, and this is the wrong number in one way or the other. But it looks fine, at least in the short term. So we're just going to assume that it is fine. Let's see, this... I mean, this is definitely going up. Which is a bit worrying. But that might just be because of other weirdness elsewhere. Whatever the case is, we're definitely producing most of the glass that we need. And check storage. We have 2.1k glass out of 9k. And the target amount is 3,000, so that is not enough. How are we using that much glass? Okay, we have another 1,000 in there that's about to go up. So it should be fine. It should be fine. Alright, then we have those which are using the glass that we produce. Alright. Hopefully it'll... I don't even know how much glass that uses compared to how much glass this makes. But this is literally more than a full belt of gravel, so there isn't much more I can do on that front. If we do need more glass, I'm going to have to like set up a whole more complicated setup, probably involving actually mining mineral rock, which is an option. That's a thing that I could be doing. Like I could be setting up. I go to the map. So, ore veins. Does mineral rock even come in ore veins? I bet it doesn't. Telexite seems to technum there. Oh yeah, mineral rock does. So I could go out to there and mine the mineral rock from that, and make sure that to set it up with the whole fracking stuff so that it never runs out. Seems like a lot of work to me, so we're just not going to do that. Instead, we're just going to hope that our mineral rock supplies are good enough, and we should be setting up more of these. So what is next? Xenoferrite plates are an option, but they're a relatively simple thing. Ignium powder is an option, but it looks like it's doing just fine as is. Yeah, it seems to have fully stabilized, at least on this side of things. So let's head over here and find our production factories for most of our bots, see what they need, if anything. If there's some massive shortage, then I will make sure to address that. Let's see, everything here looks fine. I see a whole lot of filled up belts. Alright, so then if we have a whole lot of filled up belts, then that is fine. So I guess the next thing we could do would be probably polymer bores. No, those are kind of annoying. Let's do some more robots. So if I remember correctly, we got all of the non-thermalite sheet bots. So what we have left are maintenance drones, planter drones, combat drones, heavy-duty transport bots, and transport bots. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of basic bots left, and we also have farmer bots, so 4 types of fancy bots. Alright, so let's set up the thermalite sheet productions. Now, last time I'd gone down there and I had blown up a whole bunch of space. So now I need to get the resources to craft me some lava smelters, which is going to be, I believe, like thermalite sheets and bars and stuff. And then actually just go down there and make a bunch of the things. So here we have the thermalite sheets. Grab a couple stacks of those. And we need thermalite bars as well. Let's grab more than 2 stacks of thermalite sheets, because we are likely to need a whole lot of them. Let's grab a whole lot of stacks of thermalite sheets before we return. So now we head over this way. And the thermalite bars are... I think it's this one? Yeah, so give me those. Alright, so then we can craft a whole bunch of those, and then we need circuit boards to continue going. Fortunately, there are circuit boards right here. So let's grab these. If I can... here, let's not bother running all the way to the other side of the belt to grab these. Let's just mash that button a little bit. And keep on mashing. Alright. So now we are out of electronic components. We can grab a bunch of those. And... okay, yeah, it's going to be easier to run over there and grab whole stacks of stuff. I'm going to grab another stack of thermalite bars while we're here, because we're about to run out of those. Alright, so we head all the way along to right near the beginning of the factory, where we grab... Oh, where we accidentally open up the wrong menu. So then we grab those, and we grab some steel beams as well while we're here. So we grab some of those, and we craft up a completely ridiculous number of lava smelters. Alright. Surely we're going to stop manual crafting electronic components now that we have them, right? No, we are definitely just manual crafting the electronic components. Alright. You give me some of these, and I'm going to cancel those and requeue them. There we go. Much, much nicer. Alright, so now we have to find our way back down to there, and should grab some more explosives in case we wind up needing them. I would like to just get a full belt of thermalite sheets so that I don't have to worry about like being careful with using them or anything. Alright, so we go all the way over here, and explosives. Let's grab another 2 stacks. Will be more than enough. Much more than enough. Alright, and then it looks like this is the spot here. So we go down to the lava cave with a massive amount of lava smelters. And time to make some thermalite sheets. Alright, we're going down. It's quite the distance. Quite the distance indeed. Alright, so we have this. We have this whole giant space over here. So I guess step 1 is, where are the bars coming from? Coming from here. So let's cut those off and bring a line of them around that way. Then we are going to need to also cut the sheet output off, and you get a line coming out this way. Alright, so now we have those. We just need to place all these lava smelter Mark IIs and see what happens. So let's see, any specific spot that I should like start placing these? I'm just gonna start placing them like here, I guess. Gosh, these things are weird. They don't make any sound when you place them. Maybe it's just because I'm far enough away. Yeah, they don't make any sound when you place them. They don't need power, but the loaders do need power. They're a bit weird. Alright, so we have at least a start, right? Like, this is something. So then we need foundations, which need to come up here. And just across this way. Don't need more than the one row for the loaders to sit on. Alright, so we have that. Then, Get rid of that stalactite, which is just randomly in the way. Okay, now I might need to start sloping these up earlier, actually, in order to get them out. So you get to go up there. And along like that. Then we need to clear some space around here. And drag this one backwards. Like that. But we went straight through a rock there. So let's put that in. Alright, so now we have to just run these belts along the rest of the way and figure out how much this actually is. So we have input belt, we have output belt, so then we have input, inputs on all of these. And then we get outputs on the second row. And all of these go in. And hello. Okay, that one has to be weird because I set it up wrong. So this is 20 a minute per smelter, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 smelters, so that would be 200 a minute here. Alright, so let's... I mean, that's not going to be enough, probably. Like, I want a never run out of them again number of thermalate sheets, so I probably want a full belt. So that needs to not get misplaced. Need to be all nice and lined up. Alright. So these all go in. Alright, so we have all those. And we just need to run the belts around to them. And the foundation around to them as well. So that goes around that way. And along there. And along there. So then we take the belts, do the same path. So this comes along there and along this way. And then we have the other one, which has to go around and out. And we're going to run out of belts, unfortunately. So yeah, we're going to have to head back up, grab more belts, probably grab more foundations and loaders and unloaders while we're at it, and then return. Where is the personnel elevator? Okay, this bigger one. There we go. And now we head on up. Alright, up we go. And we grab some belts and foundations and then return to building thermalate sheet production, which hopefully we should be just about done with. Like, I think this 400 should be good for the quantities I'm producing in at this point. We also might have a problem with outputting enough Thermalite bars to even use that many. Who knows? We will see. Gosh, where am I? I'm here. Okay. We have to turn around. The belts are just around here, right? Yes. So we grab those. And then we go back and we also grab some building blocks. Alright. And building blocks. And now back down to the lava caves. Alright, so now we go down here. And down we go. And once we have these thermalite sheets, then we can start producing more new types of bots. And potentially finish out, like, filling out all of the basic bots. Which would be very cool, although some of the aquatic bots seem very complicated, so we probably won't get to them. Actually, have I even unlocked them? No, I should unlock them. It's weird to just like not have researches that could be done and just not be doing them. Alright. So now we go over to this side and we run this belt. And in like that. Cool. And yeah, we definitely need to go up to the top and improve the number of thermalite bars. That's something we'll have to do up there. So these all go in. They all get those. And that's the last of them. So now all of these go in. And that will be, what, 400 thermalite sheets a minute? Which is pretty good. And we already got these ones. So yeah, that's that. Of course, what's actually happening is we're using all of... Yeah, so we're using all of the thermalite bars we have available. And we're not even outputting enough thermalite sheets. So now we go back up. Back up where we need to enhance the bar production significantly. Just slap in a medium... Maybe just another small landing pad would be fine. No, we actually can't craft a small one, but we can craft a medium one. So I guess that answers that question. We're gonna slap in the medium landing pad, tell it to send thermalite bars down there, and that should be good to go. We need to clear like an infinite amount of space in order to do that. So let's just build a foundation so we know approximately what space. So we can clear all of those out. The landing pads don't actually, strictly speaking, need foundations, but I like having them anyways. Alright, so yeah, we have even more space needed, so we need to clear out that. And that probably will do it. Hopefully. If we get it lined up properly, yes. So that goes in there. And space station to factory, thermalite bars, use the fancy ships, and then you can go along like that. And that should be pretty much good enough. A little tough to say because obviously, but yeah, look at that. It's already starting to backlog. That was real quick. I'm not sure that that's right. Actually, is this even a fast enough elevator? What type of elevator is that? It's yellow, which means it's level 2. Alright, let's grab some xenoferrite plates and hydraulic pistons and just upgrade that elevator. Alright, hydraulic pistons should technically be around here, right? Pretty sure I made some for this. Yes. We're just going to grab a whole bunch of those. And then I need xenoferrite plates, which should also be around here somewhere. So let's grab a whole bunch of those. And a whole bunch more. Okay, now we also need circuit boards, which probably also have here, because okay, we have polymer boards at least. Alright, so there we go. We also finished that research, which means we can now start. I guess I can just put all of these in the queue so that they'll all just go along. And now we have to find this again. And upgrade. Did that work? Yes, it did. So this is now a faster freight elevator, which should be capable of handling all of this. Alright, so that is that. Now we can take these Firmalite sheets, send them over that way, and have them for our production. Alright, so we just poke that in, and line that up. We're going to say output priority to the right, just so the farming bots get to keep doing their thing. And then we just take these and we send them on a little bit of an expedition. So these go over this way. And over this way. Gosh, this is a somewhat ridiculous belt. This is what happens when you can't transport something in any halfway sensible way. Alright, and then boom. Firmalite sheets. Alright, and do we want to just pop these in a logistics container? That's too close. Yeah, let's just pop these into a logistics container real quick. Just so that we have a stable supply of them. So there we go. We don't need this to be that much. Set that to half. Alright, so now we have those. We can go to robots. And nautical chassis requires all sorts of fancy stuff, which I don't really want to have. I can buy it, though. Speaking of buying stuff, I think we just pay it off. There we go. Debt has been fully cleared. We've done it. Alright, so that's that. Now we can just get all these upgrades. And keep getting the upgrades. Alright, so that's pretty good. And now, to figure out the type of bot we want to do next. Maintenance bots requires like 50 different things, including hover engines, which are on the other side of the map. Or not the other side of the map, they're like over there. But, actually, if I check, advanced machinery parts, circuit boards, energy cells, firmlight sheets. Advanced machinery parts. Do we have advanced machinery parts here? We do. We have advanced machinery parts, we have hover engines, we have circuit boards. So we have everything here to make... Why do I keep opening that instead of this? To make maintenance drones. It's going to be a bit tricky getting them all together. That's going to be the concern. Alright, those researches are going along nicely. Alright, so... it might be easier to get them all together over here. Like, those are the machinery parts, right? Why do I keep opening that? Circuit boards are right there. Hover engines are right there. Advanced machinery parts are right there. Energy cells. Where are the energy cells? I'm pretty sure we're using them somewhere around here. Energy cells are over here. And so yeah, this seems like a good place to make hover engines. If I can get everything together. So we're gonna need 5 inputs and an output. So it's gonna need to be something like this. And like this. So we have something like that, right? Then we need the output to go, I guess, over there somewhere for to be loaded up. And let's just call that maintenance bot. So the output needs to just go over all of these machines, I think. Bring it over this way. And any plates, machinery parts. Just grab a whole bunch of those. There we go. Then manual craft. And where is it? Here it is. Alright, so then we have that. And this belt goes down and into that. And this is going to be maintenance. Factory to space station. Maintenance drones. Alright, so that is that. Then we need to deal with all the rest of these, so circuit boards are there. Which should be able to squeeze in by doing that. And then this. Alright, circuit boards, check. Hover engines are right here. So we can go up just one level for these. And then over a little bit. Then we take out some spots there, put that in. And hover engines in. Alright, now we need to get some of this stuff out of my inventory. Get rid of the data cable, get rid of all this biomass. Alright, so that is 2. Then we need advanced machinery parts, thermalate sheets, and energy cells. So energy cells are over here. And okay, looks like my best chance at getting energy cells out is honestly going to be in here. This little corridor there, which we can pop that out, send you way up. And then over. And then we need to like twist this around awkwardly so that it's on the right side of the factory and everything. So that needs to come around like that. Then this needs to go up. Okay, I figured out how I'm doing this. So this goes up there, that twists in there, and this can just go back up to here, where the energy cells can connect in. Alright, so thermalate sheets, advanced machinery parts. Advanced machinery parts are right over here. And is this enough space? Maybe, if we're very creative with it. So if we go over this way, then up, then we can twist it around like that. And then down and in. Alright. No power. How is there no power? That doesn't seem possible. Like, I can understand the grid being strained if the solar panels aren't keeping up, but outright no power. What happened to the steam turbines, huh? Did they get overwhelmed? Where are the steam turbines? Did they get overwhelmed, or is it just like not connected somehow? No, this whole thing has died. Okay, well that's annoying. But day should be coming, and that problem should resolve itself when that happens. But what happened? What happened to my steam turbines? Which should be doing something at least. The answer is no ignium. You might have exhausted that patch. That could be a thing that happened. And I bet that is what happened. Yeah, that's annoying. we're gonna have to upgrade the solar panels and probably just turn off the blast furnace. Yeah, I think we just turn off the blast furnace. Like, it's not doing much of anything aside from just keeping this massive stockpile of rods filled. So in the short term, shut down, confirm. See, these all say no power, so we're gonna have to wait for them to power back on so we can power them off. Wonderful. And let's just do that. What's going off like crazy? Let's see here. And that's fine. Alright. Power is back. And let's immediately just shut this whole system down. And shut down. And shut down. Alright, so that should solve the power problem temporarily. It won't solve the Technum rod problem, but that is a problem which we have an enormous amount of storage until we can bother to go around and replace solar panels. So let's go back to what we were doing, which is the maintenance box, which we're almost done. Alright, so we're over here. And we just need the Thermalite sheets. So, let's... Gonna have to continue being a bit creative on our belting here. Yeah, this was perhaps not the most brilliantly thought out of factory designs, but it's fine. So then this comes all the way over there, and the Thermalite sheets. Hello. Please drag normally. Then the Thermalite sheets go in there. And that should be all of that set up. Oh. Okay. That's a problem. I didn't leave enough space on this side. So that is fine. We can fix that. All we have to do is just shift all of these over one. So the energy cells goes out, and this belt goes in there. And actually, how are we going to manage that? How are we going to manage that? So this needs to go in to this, which we can do that, and then like that, and just connect that down. Alright, then these just go down into there, and these go into there. Alright, so now we just have to clear that stuff off the belts and fixed. Alright, fortunately, relatively easy. So now we just put all of these in. 1 and 2. and 3, and a 1, and a 2, and right. So this first one doesn't actually work, which just have to shift the start over by a little bit. Alright, so we take these out because they're not lined up properly. And we go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we have a functional machine which is producing output. Thank goodness. Alright, so now we just have to expand this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that expands out to there. This expands out to there, and this is approximately how far back we're going to have to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, a little bit more. And 19, 20. All right, we got there. Okay, now we just have to run the belts along. So these belts go like this. We're gonna need to grab more loaders. Oh, that's just fully facing the wrong way. So let's get rid of it. And yeah, so this needs to be going this way. We're going to need more belts as well as more loaders. Alright. Having it in backwards mode when you don't expect it to be does weird things. Alright, so let's grab belts and loaders. I'm going to need each type of loader, I think. So let's jetpack over here. And the belts should be right around here. No, this one, yes. Alright, so we grab a whole bunch of those. Then we go over to this stockpile here and grab loaders. So let's grab, let's see, all of those. Now we're up to like 120 of each. Should be good. Alright, now we just fly over this way. Fly over this way and finish this off. Alright, so then we need to run these belts. So there you go. Then drag you back. And you forwards. Alright, belts all set up. Finally, the loaders. The longest part of this process, and the part that really makes me wish, I'm pretty sure there's a blueprint mod, which I really should have at some point. I don't know, I feel like feel like I'm just about done with this game. I've done pretty much everything there is to do. Like, I haven't set up fracking stuff yet, but aside from that, like, I've made all the different types of bots. I've made a blast furnace. Feeling like just one or two more streams. I would like to make all of the easy bots, but feeling like we're about to be done with Foundry for a while. We'll come back with updates and stuff to see what changes, of course. But yeah, feeling pretty close to done here. Which is fine, you know, like, not every game has to be Satisfactory where you play it for hundreds and hundreds of hours. I've gotten a significant amount of time out of this game. It's been fun. You know, like, eventually more updates will come out, it'll be more complete, and then it might be more worth playing and replaying, but for now, like, we're just about done. And yeah, that's about that. So we're just going to finish up this type of bot and then be done for today. So probably gonna have a bit of a quicker stream today. I guess I could go and see what the fracking thing is like. We need a new source of ignium, so I may as well go and experiment with that. But I think that will probably be it. Like, once we've figured out how the fracking works, I think we're going to be done. That's sort of the last big thing that I haven't done. I guess I could make, like, one of the underwater bots if I wanted to. So yeah, I guess things left to do in Foundry: make one of the aquatic bots and do fracking, vein mine type stuff, and then probably call it good and move on. I've been itching to play Factorio for ages, obviously as any Factory game player would. So I think we're not going to spend too much longer on this game. Not entirely sure, of course. We might end up coming back to it later. Alright, so that is going along. Now I need to just put in these upgrades. And the maintenance drone needs to be made lighter. And sales platform. I have to go enable sales of maintenance drones. And let's see, I guess also just the galactic market, right? That's all there is to do. Alright. Is this working? Yeah, this is working. Feels like this is slower than the other ones. Not sure why. Produces 4 per minute. This one, yeah, no, it's definitely 3 times slower than the others. That's fine. Not worried about that. Alright. Go to the galaxy map, rather. Find any of these guys that want maintenance drones. Surprisingly, no luck so far. And yeah, where? Okay, there's one. We're gonna add those on and save. And what's this? Requiring all the big fancy robot types. What the heck is going on there? Alright, then we go to this one. You want some maintenance drones. So you can get them. Then you don't exist. You thing. Alright, then we go through all of these. None there. None there, and then there. And I remember these were all like weirdly similar. Alright, I think that's all the galaxy map stuff for maintenance drones. And I think that is that. Let's at least figure out what fracking entails. So I wanted to do ignium because that's what I ran out of. So let's hide all of the stuff that I don't care about. And ignium ore vein there. Technum ore vein there. Ignium ore vein there. Big ignium ore vein there. And it looks like I do have some belts out there. So let's call this ignium vein and save it. Alright, so how does fracking work? Ore vein mining? Fracking tower is its own separate thing. So, you put it on top of an ore vein, and it drills downwards, and we have to supply it with fracking liquid. And alright, so that should be straightforward. So it's just going to be this building, right? And it's going to be a whole modular thing, so we're going to have to do that, but won't be an issue because we just send the cargo ships over. So now we have to find fracking liquid. Fracking liquid is air, alumite gas, and water. That's it. So, air. Actually, how do you get air? Dumb question. Does it have to be an air intake? Probably. Okay, and then this is made in a chemical processor. And alright. So we need to grab resources, so let's head over to the main base. So what do we need? Do we need concrete? No, we need advanced machinery parts, xenoferrite plates, and circuit boards, and a lot of them. Alright, so we head over here. So circuit boards are going to be in this area. So let's grab those. Then advanced machinery parts, xenoferrite plates, potentially steel beams. Alright, advanced machinery parts, check. Grab another couple stacks of steel beams. And xenoferrite plates. So we can get a fracking tower and an air intake. Alright, so we have those. We have those, and then we're going to need a whole bunch of ore vein miners, which is going to be even more plates and machinery parts. So let's grab those and those. And let's just get a whole bunch of them, just so that we have them. Alright, so that is that. How many, actually, the node we were going there has 17 drill points. So let's just get all of those then. May as well. There's all this junk in my inventory doing. I don't need you. Don't need you. I don't need lava smelters. I don't need gravel. I might need glass. I need data evaluators. Alright. So we have all that. I'm going to need lots of building blocks because we're going to be out away from the factory. So I'm going to need a bunch of those. And I'm also going to need a cargo shuttle start pad because I am, after all, sending... what's it called? I am sending the resources back to this. And what's this called? Like ignium supplier or something? Yeah, ignium supplier. And then I also am going to need possibly quite a lot of power pole larges because I don't know if we actually have high voltage power over in that area. So what else do I have in my inventory that I don't need? I don't need casting machines or crushers. So give me one of those and give me a lot of those. Hopefully we do have power in that vicinity, but if we don't, then I'm going to need all of these. Alright, let's... Oh, hover engines and rocky desert seeds. Get rid of those. Alright, hopefully this will be good enough. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything critically important. And let's just head on over to the ignium. That's not technically... Oh yeah, no, that is the ignium vein that I just labeled. Alright, so... Do we have high voltage power in the area? Pretty sure it specifically needs to be high voltage power. And it looks like we don't. Looks like we went over there with low voltage power. Alright. Well, let's convert over. And now we start using all of these. So this keeps going. And keeps going. Alright, so that's too far. That's about as far as it'll go. That's too far. That is about as far as it'll go. Then we go there. And again, that's about as far as we can go. Yeah, and then we have to go over this mountain. Which hopefully won't be too hard. We're going to have to zag the cables through all of the other nonsense. So we can get all the way up there. And then down there. Gosh, we might just barely run out. That's annoying. So that. And then this one goes like there. And yeah, 74 meters away. Well, we can craft a whole bunch of small ones. So let's craft a whole bunch of small power poles to get the rest of the way. And don't have far to go. So this gets over to here-ish. And, oh, I realized what I need is elevators. So I have a couple of the small freight elevators. I don't have a personnel elevator, which means I can't really do this. Alright, we're heading back. Hopefully the old base will have the resources. I mean, it's just like a personnel elevator and a freight elevator. Like, it's not anything fancy. So hopefully that'll be enough. So we get over here. Alright, so personnel elevator, we need steel beams. So let's grab this. Gosh, these old belts are incredibly slow. Alright, elevator, check. Oh, this does need hydraulic pistons, which have to be made in the fluid assembler. Alright, well, let's head back to the base, grab some more stuff, and make another journey. Alright, up we go, over the mountains, and over towards the base. Yeah, I'd imagine that this ignium patch is probably just completely drained at this point, and that's what's happened. Looks like it. Yep. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so we need hydraulic pistons and some other things. If we want this elevator to be maximum speed. Alright, so let's grab some of you. And we make 2 of those. Then we need CPU and rubber. So let's grab some CPUs. And let's grab some rubber, which is going to be further over this way. Here it is. Alright, now I can make 2 freight elevator V4s. Which hopefully will be good. So now we just head back to the ignium vein. While we're in that vicinity, may as well pick up another stack of jetpack fuel at the Ollymite patch. So if we head over this way. I just realized, do I have chemical processors? Because that is made in chemical processors. Do I have chemical processors? No, I need steel beams. Let's grab a stack of steel beams and make a chemical processor or 2. Those will be around like here. Alright, get those. Okay, what can I clear? I don't need the CPUs. The steel beams might come in handy. The CPUs almost certainly won't. Alright, so now we head back. now we head back and try to do as much of this building as we can. Alright. To the Alumite. To the Alumite for our jetpack refuel, and then to the Ignium for the building. Alright. Flying on over. The lines between biomes are very sharp in this game. Like, desert, mere inches away from a jungle. It's a bit weird. Alright, seems like the power grid may have crashed again. Yeah, that's probably just going to keep on happening until we fix this. It's fine. Because that is what we're doing right now. So once we get this all set up, then we will have Ignium again, and the power grid shouldn't crash. Alright, so now we head over here. Alright, so step one. I would love to orbit a laser. Just clear out the surface and expose a bit of that. Alright. That was fun. Pointless, but fun. Alright, now we get a fracking tower in. And I assume... yeah, so it has to be actually above the vein. So that goes in there. And attach tower. I don't know how much this matters. Like, I don't know how much fracking liquid, but we are doing a pretty big one, so I guess we're going to put all the towers on. And then put the top, and the pipe connection, and the power connection, and start construction. Alright, so that will happen. So we have that going. In the meantime, I need to scan this and get... gosh, these veins are really annoying and hard to deal with, huh? So I need to scan the vein and get down to level 95, 58, and 15 without running into the vein itself. So let's put in my elevator just like over there. It's maybe the best spot for it because it has to not go through the vein, right? So gotta give it some distance. And then what are the numbers? 95, 58, and 15. Alright. So let's add station 95, height of 95, check. Add station 58, height of 58, check. Add station 15, height of 15, check. Alright. What if we make this like 16? Confirm. So we might bump into the very bottom, but who knows? Hopefully it'll work. So in the meantime, what else do I have to do? I need to I need to import some alumite, which I just realized. Fortunately, I have the ability to manual craft a medium shipping pad. Alright. Is this going? Is this going? No, it's probably just because all of the construction ships are so far away. It's probably just going to take ages. Alright, so step 1 is get the shipping pad in. I think I'm just going to put it like... Can I just put the shipping pad like on the ocean or something? Oh, I saw it lit up green briefly. There should be a button that's like snap to the nearest valid placement or something. Yeah, no, forget that. We're going to make a little bit of a platform here. And by a little bit, I mean a big platform. So then this can go in... where does it need? I think it needs to go in facing like this way, because we do need space to process the alumite. So space station to factory, alumite barrel, only use non-useless cargo ships. And it should be coming down now. It is. Cool. Alright, so then the next step is, I believe, fracking liquid is alumite gas. So that's just a distillation column, which I forgot to bring. Fortunately, I can make some. And I also need this air intake base. Needs to be placed fully on a foundation. Okay, fine. You can go there then. And what? Then you get all these vents. And a utility panel. And then some vents on the back. And start. Alright. Hey look, cargo ships are here. It's a bit of a journey for them. Alright, so this has its alumite barrels. That has the air. So first we get a barrel filler and probably 2 incinerators. We always end up needing 2 of them. So we go there. And you load up. Right, no power. Okay. Let's grab one of these power poles, bring it over here, alright, and we just need a transformer. I guess I'll go with a large one, since given the choice between a small one and a large one, which is strictly better, may as well choose the strictly better one. So transformer goes in and connects up. Now we have power. So this is a barrel emptier. Alright, so we just send this along into our pair of incinerators. Just go there and there. And this has to output onto that belt. Now these two input from that belt. Alright, so that should be the alumite unbarreling done. Next up, we need the distillation column, which probably has to face like this. Pretty sure I remember that from the last time I did this. So we pop that in, and we're going to make some alumite gas. Cool. Then we have the chemical processor, which I don't know how much this is going to want or need. And we make fracking liquid. So this needs 120 alumite gas a minute. This produces like a gazillion D. And this also uses water and air. So the air is going to be a bit of a challenge. The water should be easy. And then produces fracking liquid. Alright, so I don't know how much fracking liquid we're going to wind up needing, but this is definitely going to be enough, right? Like, unless we need tens of thousands of the stuff, this is going to be enough. So let's put in the pipe, and this, it doesn't even need to be a T intersection, does it? It just needs to be like a regular old pipe, since this is just going to be 1-to-1. Alright, then that goes around like that. So now we need a flare stack. It's going to be one of those. And the flare stack can just go back here, I guess. No need wasting space and pipes. I'm frankly a little uncomfortably low on pipes at the moment. Alright, flare stack hooked up. Gas hooked up. Alright, so now we just need to set this up. So again, I don't know how many of these we're going to need, but it might be more than one. Very well might be more than one, and if it is, then I need to be prepared for that. So, then one of these has to go out one, right? That's how you deal with the threes. So then this, please rotate correctly. There we go. So then we have those, and we need air for the left one, the gas for the middle one, and just water for the top one. So the gas comes around this way. Forwards like that, and in. Alright, yep, that's correct. Then the air is going to be coming from that once that finishes, if it has even started. No, construction ships seem to be all working on that, which is a bit backwards, but fine. Alright, so then we need to hook up the water, which we just get one of you. So let's go. We need a foundation, and then we need, where is that? I had it 5 seconds ago. There it is. Stupid not flying because of the water is so annoying. Alright, so then this comes up to a pretty high level, and then this comes out over here, and then we just do some curvy pipes, and water is in. Alright, so now we just need to do whatever the heck is going on with the air situation. Hopefully there's just a regular pipe output that I can use instead of the massive thing. Actually, can I just... This probably doesn't work, right? There's no way this works. Just like pop you in there. And then loop in. Please work. This will be so much more convenient if it works. Nope, doesn't work. Didn't think so. But you gotta try, right? Alright, so that seems to be doing all of its construction stuff. And it's almost gotten all the construction materials. Which means hopefully this one will start soon. In the meantime, I'm gonna need more pipes and possibly some pipelines. And should be fine other than that, really. So I'm gonna head back to base while those constructions are constructing, and then grab some pipes and some pipelines so that we can finish that off. Alright, so we have to head over here to the base site. Or I could just drop down right here, find some steel, and do that. May as well. So let's grab some steel. And I have 45 pipelines. No, I don't need to queue up 496. Can I? There's gotta be a way. Right, other than just spam clicking. There has to be a way of queuing up like 10 at a time, but not all of them. Alright, so those should hopefully be enough pipes, and those are some pipelines. And I think we might need one of these. I'm not sure which, but we might need one, so I'm going to queue them up. And then we head back. Alright, so we're heading on over. Heading on over to the ignium vein. Got all sorts of stuff crafting. And so the other thing we need to do is we need to actually go down and place the vein miners in, which is going to be a whole process in itself. I do have 100 explosives. I do not know if that will be enough, but this looks like it is finished, so that's neat. Where do you connect up? Connect up from the back. Alright, that's a bit weird, but whatever. We're going to need more of those. And we're going to need to bring the power around this way. And in there. Alright, so this is powered on. And consumption per minute, 125 liters per minute is what it says. Now, I don't believe that. I think that might just be because we don't have any vein miners in. Is this going? Yeah, it started. At least somewhat started. So let's see. We have once we get air, we'll have the fracking liquid. So let's just run that pipe. So you get to go along this way, right? The input, output is that side, I think. Just need to make sure not to get in the way of future things that I need for this. So then this curves out over this way. And then we need to go up a little bit. And then do a bit of a corner. And gosh, I was really close to being right on the money. Missed out a little bit, but that's fine. Alright, then this just needs to do a little game of twisty pipe. Alright, so that is hooked up, which means once we have fracking liquid production, which the construction on that has started, then we can start sending it into the fracking tower. So then now the only thing to do really, aside from hooking up the air through that once that's finished, is we go down and yeah, that didn't work. Alright, annoying. Very annoying. So, probably did the mining, but not put in the stations because it hit the ground. So it's 95, 58, and 15, but it's not going to make it all the way down to 15 here. Actually, is that lava? Do I see lava down there? Alright, let's get add station 95 at 95. Add station 58 at 58. Confirm. So now it's going down to at least the top 2 levels. And then we're going to have to figure out what exactly is going on with the bottom level. But at least this should get us started. Right. So that's going down now. It should make it down to 58 easily. And then we'll have to see what's going on with that lava down there. There's some weirdness. I turned everything on, and there shouldn't be anything interesting down there, aside from the ore vein itself. So, who knows? Who knows what that thing that looks like lava down there is? It shouldn't be lava. We shouldn't be going past level 15. Well, I guess it's possible that those aren't... I mean, those are definitely the Y values, right? Because it's not going to be 400. Yeah, those are definitely the Y values. Because the other ones are clearly the X and Z values. Or whatever version this uses. I think if it's in Unreal, Z is vertical. But whatever, that's not important. The important thing is that I have no idea what's going down at the bottom of this shaft. Alright, so let's go to 95. Down we go. This should be the nearest one. Alright, then the vein is this way, so if we just we just mining laser along this way, then we should hit the vein. Right, that's probably how that works. Right, is that right? Do a scan. Okay, it is right in front of me, and the node is a little to the right. That's fine. Let's put the mining drill on this exact thing. So we mine drill on over. Wait, why mining drill? Mining laser. Obviously. It's way cooler. Okay, I need to not accidentally like shoot past it. Alright, so now here we turn. We turn and go this way until we hit the node. Alright, so then we have this little mining shaft here. Pop a scan. And there is the node right there. Alright, now let's just go this way. Yep, and here we are. Alright, at this point, it makes more sense to blow it up. And here we are. So, let's just get... Okay, it seems like we need more space. So let's get more space. That's gotta be enough space, right? Let's clear out some space around the sides, just in case. Alright, plenty of space here. Now we put in the ore vein miner. We got to point it the right way. I think technically this fits 2. And so these are going to need power. And they're going to need access to an elevator. So, what we need to do is basically just make this tunnel a bit wider so that we can put the elevator back over by the personnel elevator where there's nothing that it's going to be in the way of. This just goes out like this, and with mining expedition, have all sorts of stone in my inventory now. Alright, so now we're here. Personnel elevator is blast resisting. So let's clear some space out around here as well. That should be enough. Okay, so now we just make a bit of a platform here because we're going to need it. And freight elevator bottom goes in. Yeah, let's say it goes in there. And it is fed from a belt like so. And then the rest of that belt just goes along through this. This is why I had to make this wider. So that to drag mode backwards and send it over that way. And over this way. Alright, now these are going to have to go up to connect to it, because I was, I guess, one off on my Y value, which is fine, and then that is connected up. So now we need the power grid to connect to all of these. Alright, so those are connected up to each other. Now we realize our mistake that we didn't make this tall enough for power poles, which is going to be faster just to blast our way through and rebuild stuff. That was not where I wanted to place that. I wanted to place this nice and conveniently in this shaft, which is now completely coated with debris, by the way. Alright, well, we have that. The debris is just gonna have to... I'm gonna remove, like, the relevant parts of it. Because some of it is actually in the way. Most of it isn't, though. So, like, all this stuff can just be down there. And now we just drag this belt. And it goes across like that. And in like that. Then we take the power poles. They come around. Need to craft a couple more. So let's craft a couple more of those. And those get hooked up. And then we need just a small transformer for space purposes, I think, will be better. Like, we literally just need to power, like, one loader. So there we go. And look at that. We have a couple ignium. And how much is this? It does not say how much it's produced. Oh, yes, it does. 160 a minute. Not incredible, but also, why is this one not connected to the grid? There we go. Now you're also connected to the grid. And we have this. So then we need to go up to the surface and place in the other side of the freight elevator. And then hook up the fracking liquid and attach this to the ignium supplier output. Alright, we've just barely managed to dodge that. That's fine. So freight elevator top. Pops in there. Alright, so now we have that. And we can... We're gonna have to put this on a foundation as well. Which means we're gonna need another transformer, which we can't make. Or we could just run a foundation from over here. Let's just run a foundation from over here. So that goes there. Then it comes over this way. Goes around the tree. and down through there. Alright, so once that hooks up, we should have a functioning elevator bringing the ignium out. And let's then bring the ignium up. And we're going to need this to have a nice space there for our cargo shuttle start pad, which goes in like that. And is this nice and functional? Set destination. Ignium supplier. Alright, cool. Now we just have to feed it. So this goes along. We get some extra space around here. And so we put in a laser the tree. The tree is in the way. Then we put in a big old fancy logistics container. So first off, this just goes into that, nice and easy. Then we have this, which has all of those as intakes, and all of those as outputs. Don't need that one, I guess. Now we just need to... I guess we need to actually put the belts in first, at least before those, so that we can see what we're doing. So we have those, and then we have our outputs, and we can now load her up real quick. So that is that. And it's filling up. We haven't quite set up the fracking yet, but we will have fixed the power grid crisis. That's nice. Okay, now we grab this and we connect it in to the grid. Alright, there's gotta be... Alright, now we put in a pipeline-to-pipe pump and remove that power line because, of course, it's in the way. So instead, the power line is going to go around that way. Alright, and we're good again. Now we get this in, which lines up with that, and it's going to need to be powered, of course, probably. Actually, how does that even work? Requires foundations. Okay, sure, I guess that's fine. You get your foundations. Unlike every other pump in the game, you're low voltage for some reason. Then we just take this pipe, bring it around here, go up, go in there, and done. Now we just have to enable you, produce a hilariously excessive amount of air. Alright, and then the fracking liquid. Did I hook this up to the wrong output? Pipe is empty. Why? So this isn't getting air. Why are you not getting air? Oh, because I stupidly connected the pipe up to the wrong thing. So get water out of that, fill it with air. This is supposed to go down this way. And into the bottom one. Alright. So now we have air going in and fracking liquid going out. So that's that. Now we come all the way over here. And tell you to start up. Fracking operation active without issues. Cool. We've done it. So this is like mostly useless, right? Because I mean it's going to be so long before I actually need any of that, and the output here isn't that high just because of how I've done that, but it should be fine. Like this works. Fracking is pretty simple. So with that, I mean, I guess next stream we're going to make at least one type of underwater robot. And I guess that'll probably be it for Foundry. So yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. Had a lot of fun with this game. Obviously, bit of a weird game where you never really hit a nice concrete ending like Satisfactory. It just sort of like trickles out until you've done everything you wanted to do. But overall, been a good fun game. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I will see you guys next time. So tomorrow we're going to be playing Satisfactory. We're finishing a gigantic train network. And then the day after that will probably be the last Foundry stream, where we're going to be making an aquatic bot, just because it's the most complicated, fancy thing that we haven't done. And then we'll probably be switching to Factorio after that. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Make sure to